Hey friends, welcome back to Call Me After Coffee. My name is Bree. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been around for a while, thanks for coming back. Today I have my summer book haul. I didn't want to let this get too far into the fall before I put this up. So these are all the books that I've acquired this summer. I was not expecting to get this many, and I didn't realize how many middle grades I picked up, but I am definitely going to have a lot for middle grade March next year, apparently. So I'm gonna hop right into the books because there's quite a few of them. First on the stack, I had to grab this because it was on Book Outlet, and I love these editions so much. I have the Little Women one, and I picked up this one, and I actually picked up another one that's in the pile in a minute. But this is Anne of Green Gables by Ellen Montgomery. I have yet to read Anne of Green Gables, and now I own 2 copies of it. But like, these covers are so pretty. How can I say no? How could I not? It was impossible. So this showed up on Book Outlet, and it had to be mine. Next on the pile, I have The Boy, the Bird, and the Coffin Maker by Matilda Woods. I don't really know a lot about this one. All I know is I think it's just straight up fantasy. It might be magical realism, but I think it's just fantasy. And I really have no idea what's going to go on or what's going to happen, but I just have a good feeling about this one. Like, you know how sometimes you just have a good feeling? I read the synopsis when it was on Book Outlet, and now I don't remember what it was. But 1, this cover is stunning, and 2, every single page has blue writing, which I think is really neat, but also like illustrations around the edges. And you guys know me, you've been around for a while, I love like special touches in books, and some of the pages are like full, not full color, but like everything is just blue. And there are some neat little illustrations in there, so I'm very excited to see what this one's all about. I hope it's really cute, and I hope I enjoy it, but I'm obsessed with this cover regardless. And then we have Tuck Everlasting by Natalie Babbitt. I've yet to read this one. I was supposed to read it this summer. There was actually, I think, a readathon or a book club that picked it, and I never ended up getting to it. I did download the audiobook of this, so I may try to get to it in the fall. I don't know why, but it just feels like it'll probably be a good fall read. I could be completely off base there, but I did get the audiobook from the library, and I may listen to it along with the book and or read this to my kids at some point. And then next we have the first 3 books in the Little House series. These were a fancy edition that I think just showed up on Book Outlet, but it ended up being cheaper to buy the box set on Book Depository for whatever reason. So that's what we did. So I got Little House in the Big Woods. I'm holding them to the side because they're kind of glary, but these covers are stunning. And then Farmer Boy and Little House on the Prairie. I have never read these books. I don't know how I missed that. I missed a lot of things as a child, apparently. But I haven't looked it up quite yet, but I hope that they have the rest of these editions, if they don't already, out at some point, because I would love to get the whole, because there's like 8 books or something, 7 books maybe, and I would love them all to be in covers like this, but I don't know if that's possible. But I'm obsessed with these. They were like some special edition thing that came out, and I just think they're absolutely stunning. The next one on the stack is Before We Were Free by Julia Alvarez, and this one is set in the Dominican Republic. Oh, sorry. Someone is in the Dominican Republic, and a lot of her family has immigrated to the US, and I'm just very interested to see what this one is like. I thought it sounded really good, and I'm pretty sure I've heard good things about this one, but I can't remember if this is the title I was thinking of or not. But this one, I don't know if it's YA or middle grade. I think it might be YA. Not entirely sure, but I'm excited to give it a shot. And then I have Howls Moving Castle, which I don't know what this is about. I know there's a movie, but I have never read the book. I've never seen the movie, so I don't know what it's about, but apparently it's very whimsical, very quirky, very fun. So this is another one I'm really looking forward to. I believe this is middle grade. And it just sounds like it would be really fun, so I'm excited. I've been really getting into middle grade this year. Thank you, Krista. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Liv. Thank you, anyone who has like tried to get me to read middle grade this year, because it has very much like made my year very happy and just sweet. Next one is one that I actually have read, The Dollmaker of Krakow, and I loved this book. I flipping loved it. I have not heard a single thing about it on the internet. I've never seen anyone talk about it. I've never seen a single review. I've never seen it pop up anywhere, but I saw the cover on Book Outlet and it was gorgeous. So I was like, hey, I want this book. I want to see what it's like. and I ended up absolutely loving it. I buddy read this with my friend Kirsty. She also loved it. I sent her a picture and she was like, I need to have that. We need to read it together. And I was like, yes and yes. So we did. We both gave it 5 stars. We loved it. This is a middle grade World War II historical fiction, but it has a magical realism element. There's a magic doll in it. There's a doll maker. There's a Jewish family. It's a very tragic book. It's so good. I loved it so much. I laughed. I cried. It's so good. Next is the other book in the Puffin. The only one I need now is The Little Princess or A Little Princess. I'm not sure if it's a or the, but maybe it's just Little Princess. I don't know. But there's one more in this edition that I need to get my hands on that I haven't seen anywhere yet. So I may just have to get it off Book Depository, but I'm hoping it comes on Book Outlet soon so I can just grab it. But this is Heidi by Joanna Spyri, and I have not read Heidi. I've seen the Shirley Temple movie and I loved it as a kid. And my sister read this in the spring maybe, and she really enjoyed it. So I'm hoping that I love this one as much as, I know I think the story in the movie is a little bit different, but I hope that I love this one right up as much or more than that movie because I really enjoyed the movie and I thought it was super sweet, and I just love Shirley Temple. I think her movies are adorable, but I want to read more classics this year and I actually haven't read any yet, so hopefully this fall and winter I will get my butt into gear and read some classics. Then I got another that I didn't mean to go through all the middle grade at once, but I have 2 left. They're both middle grades. So this one is Pippi Longstocking by Astrid Lindgren. I used to watch the cartoon when I was a kid, but I have a feeling this is one that'll be fun to read aloud to my children. I assume it's just going to be fun and silly and quirky, and the TV show was cute when I was a kid, so I assume the book will be too. It's quite short, so something that we can probably read fairly easily. I've started trying to kind of up my collection of middle grade so that I have more books on my shelves that I can share with my kids because most of them are not child friendly. The Wind and the Willows. I have never read this one. I think this one also was a movie or a TV show, and I feel like I've seen bits and pieces, but never the whole thing. So I picked this up. I thought that maybe Rainer especially would enjoy this one. It has an inscription in it, which I think is cute. I don't know if any of you guys like inscriptions, but when I buy used books, like off of AbeBooks or something, or if I find books in little free libraries, I love when there's inscriptions in them. I just think it's such a special touch and such like a special little thing. It makes me a little sad that somebody got rid of a book with an inscription in it. I don't think I could personally do that, but I love finding books that had been given and with notes inside. I just think that's so cute. All right, the rest of the books I think are adult. There may be a 1YA, I'm not entirely sure. Getting into this next stack. So the next one is kind of a chunker. This is Long Bright River by Liz Moore. Don't remember exactly what this one is about, but I think it's about a police officer or a detective, and she has a sister who I think is homeless and a drug addict and goes missing, and I think it's like her search for her sister, something along those lines. I'm sure there's more to it than that because it's gigantic, but I have heard really good things about this, and I'm not a huge mystery thriller person, but I have a feeling that the elements that are in this, like the hard-hitting parts, are going to get to me in like a break my heart kind of way. So I'm hoping that I really enjoy this one, and I hope that I can get through it fairly quickly when I end up picking it up. Then I got, this one is also from Book Outlet, Called to Forgive by Anthony B. Thompson. This has like a Bible study element in it as well, which I think is really interesting. But this is a pastor whose wife was killed in the Charleston church shooting and his journey to forgiveness or finding forgiveness, and I think that it'll be a really interesting perspective to read from. I really enjoy reading about things from a Christian perspective because obviously I'm Christian, so I want to identify with some things. But I'm very curious to see what he has to say and what the outcome was and all of these things. Like, I have a feeling it's going to be both brutally sad but also uplifting, if that doesn't sound too weird. I'm not saying that to offend anybody, I promise. But I assume this one is going to feel similar to like The Sun Does Shine, and I loved that book, so I'm hoping that I really enjoy this one. Also looking forward to doing like the Bible study alongside it to see how that goes. I also have White Guilt. My husband picked this up and he's already read it and annotated it, which he literally never annotates books. He never writes in books, but I threw him a pencil and I was like, yo man, can you like underline things so that when I'm reading it I can like see what you were thinking as I'm reading it? I think that's really interesting. So anyway, I need to get to this one. Our friend is also reading this right now, and I would like to read it so that if we end up discussing it or whatever, that I have more, like, so that I have opinions on the book as well. So this is one that I want to try and get to sometime this fall, hopefully. It's quite short. Mr. Flood's Last Resort by Jess Kidd. I'm obsessed with this cover. I know there's another title for this. Kirsty, comment down below because I'm blanking and I don't remember what the other title is. You read it, so I know you know. But I am very excited to get to more Jess Kidd this year as well. You guys know I love Things in Jars. I'm hoping I love this one just as much. Oh, I think it's called The Hoarder, actually. Maybe that's what it's called. Pretty sure it's about an old man who's a hoarder, and there's like someone who comes into the house, and I think this one also has like magical realism bits and pieces to it, but I'm not entirely sure. But I loved Jess Kidd's writing in Things in Jars, and so I hope I love her other books as well. The next one is just a little tiny thing, but this my sister actually gave me, and I think that these are absolutely beautiful. Olivia actually sent me a link to them, and I was like, I want to collect those. I think they're gorgeous. I would love to have them on my shelves and also read them. But my sister decided to start out my collection by giving me Ephesians. It's one of her favorite books from the Bible. I have not read it yet, so I'm very excited to get into this, but I just think these are such beautiful little additions, and I'm excited to hopefully collect them all someday and display them. But I just think that gold foiling, gorgeous. And then I have Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. You guys know I'm obsessed with Frederick Bachman, absolutely obsessed. I am very excited. I pre-ordered this. I pre-ordered this like 8 months ago or something ridiculous. It was a long time ago. And this has gotta be the most hideous cover ever. How did this happen? Why? I have no idea what this has to do with the book at all. I haven't read it yet, so maybe it'll make sense. Maybe. But I don't think it will, because someone said it didn't make sense already when I sent a picture to them. But I'm excited to read Anxious People. I hope I absolutely love it. I've loved everything else I've read by him so far. I'm just really disappointed that the American cover is so nice and this one is so hideous. Murphy and I are going to be kind of buddy reading this. I need to read this like ASAP. It'll be my second book that I read in September because I need to get to it. And then I'm gonna send it off to Murphy and she's gonna read it. So I'm gonna read it and annotate it, then I'm gonna send it off to Murphy and she's gonna read it and annotate it, and then she's gonna send it back to me. And it is going to be, as much as it's like the ugliest thing in the world, it's going to be wonderful because it's gonna be special and friendship filled, and I'm really excited to read it, note in it, and then read her notes in it. Like, so excited. I can't wait. We've got Dear Edward by Anne Napolitano. I might have butchered that, but this one I think is about a plane crash. It's been a while since I picked this one, or since I ordered this one, so I don't really remember what it's about, but I've heard it's gonna make me cry. And this is one I really want to paint the edges on. I actually have a few that I really want to paint soon that I haven't gotten to yet. But I love this cover. I think it's really cool. I heard the story is really good. So someday I'll get to this and I'll let you know if it breaks my heart. This one is a really random pick. This is also from Book Outlet. Like I said, a lot of these are from Book Outlet. Most of them, because budget life. But this is called A Castle in the Clouds by Kirsten Gear. And this, I believe, is translated. I don't remember where from. Norwegian, German, I don't remember, I cannot see. It just says it's been translated in 25 languages, but not what the original language was. Anyway, not super important right now. I don't really remember what this one was about, but it made me think when I read it online about like the Grand Budapest Hotel movie. I don't know if that's a book. I need to look that up, but it's a movie for sure, and I loved the movie, and something about this, like the cover and everything, just kind of gave me Grand Budapest vibes, so I'm hoping that that's what I get out of it. I think there's some kind of like a mystery. I don't know if it's a murder mystery, but I think it's some kind of a mystery. This one might be YA, but I'm not entirely sure, because it's about someone who works there, so I'm not sure. But I hope I enjoy it. I love the cover art. I think it's gorgeous, and I just hope I like it. And then next I have Queenie, which I have shown on here before. I don't think I hauled it, but I think it was on a TBR and I didn't end up getting to it yet. But this one is, I believe, set in the UK. I think that's where it's set. And I believe this is like a contemporary. Like I said, don't really know a lot about it. Want to give it a shot. Hope that I like it. And I will keep you guys posted if and when I get to it. This one is pretty cool. I got sent this by my friend Jay, who is a subscriber on YouTube, but also an author, and this is his book. It's called The Dutch Coffee Shop, and well, I guess there's a co-author. I didn't realize that. But this one, I almost feel like, I don't know, I feel like it'll be different than Long Bright River, but Long Bright River is like a detective who's looking for her sister, and I believe this one is, I can't remember, like a detective who's searching. I think his brother gets like murdered or something, and he's searching either he's searching for his brother because his brother's missing, or he's searching for whoever hurt his brother. Something along those lines. I think his brother gets like mixed up with bad guys and he goes looking. Jay, let me know if I'm wrong, but I don't like reading synopsises, so that's where we're at. I did listen to the first part of this on Jay's channel, which if I remember, I'll try and link it down below. He does narrate his book. So I'll try and drop his link down below and you guys can head over there and listen to it. I listened to the first part. I thought it was really good. So I decided, he asked me, can I send you my book? And I was like, yeah, it sounds really interesting. So hoping that I enjoy it. I'll keep you posted. And then, last but not least, this one is one that gave me the hardest time. So my one friend actually works at a bookstore, and so she offered to order the books for me, and then I would just pay her back. Anyway, she ordered them, and they sent me this large print edition, which literally broke my heart because I hate large print editions, and it wasn't her fault at all. She ordered the right book, but the company sent the wrong one. So then we had to send it back and then reorder it. And this beautiful thing came to me. This is another one that I really want to paint because I think it would just be stunning painted. And I'm very excited about that. But also one I want to read ASAP because it sounds super stinking good. I don't really remember what it's about now because it's been a while since I ordered it. But Katie from Life Between Words loved this book. She raved about it. And I am excited to get to this one. I assume it's going to break my heart. It's going to make me cry. I believe it's historical fiction. So that's where we're at with this. And I hope that I love it. And I'm, yeah, once again, excited because I don't really buy books I'm not excited about. So that's everything that I've got today. That's my big old book haul. I did not mean to get that many books, but because of Book Outlet and everything being so cheap, I ended up getting a lot. So leave me a comment down below. What was the last book that you purchased or borrowed from the library if you're not a book purchaser? Let me know. And also let me know what was the last, either your favorite read or your last 5-star read. Put that down below as well. And while you're down there, if you haven't subscribed already, please do and hit the bell so you don't miss future notifications. I do upload most Mondays and Thursdays, and I will talk to you guys all soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.